Side note though, guys, I actually want to, I'm going to dive into the Lisa Rinna.
Hi.
Hi, Dana.
I'm in my underwears.
Oh, my underwear too.
Anna, are you still on here? You cold ass bitch.
Hi, Anna. Anna's getting feisty tonight. I think it's because we were drinking some of my rosé and everyone was
Is that right? Are you friends with her? Who is she?
Anna, she's always she always pops into our lives. So,
I feel like she should be on Vanderpump Rules.
Are you watching Vanderpump this season?
I did. Yeah, I'm covering it. Yep.
I love it. Are you
Randall Emmett and I made up, so now I'm covering it.
Oh, you made up with who?
Randall Emmett.
Oh.
Yeah, we had a fight, but now we made up. Right. So, I was trying to answer you, but typing is like impossible. So just like you were talking about Jay Edelson, you were saying that he did a new filing.
Yes.
And he's removed himself from the bankruptcy, you're saying, as part of the Lion Air victims, or how? I don't understand what happened.
Ending of it, and he's probably going to end up coming on the podcast. We're talking about scheduling right now, but my understanding of the new filing motion was he's trying to get out of the bankruptcy. That way he can sue Erika Girardi directly to try and get the money for the victims through, or try to get some money for the victims through her versus having to wait in line in the bankruptcy.
Okay, so what happened with him is he had done a filing against Girardi Keys and then a bunch of companies related to both Tom and Erika Girardi. And I don't know, after they initiated the criminal investigation on Tom Girardi and Girardi Keys, what happened with that lawsuit. But I'm assuming he got a judgment. And I'm assuming that judgment then became part of the Girardi Keys bankruptcy, and also probably as like a sidebar, the personal bankruptcy of Tom Girardi and Erika Girardi. And I think he's trying to get in front of the line.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to just sue Erika directly, but that means that he believes that he has evidence that will stand in a civil litigation, that she, that $25 million should be in some way returned, like Ronald Richards saying.
Yeah, and that's the same impression that I got, was that he's trying to cut the line. But in this case, I actually think I'm in support of that, because he's not a bank or a lender that, isn't supporting the victims. Like, we know with the line of precedent with the bankruptcy right now, the banks and the lenders are the ones that have the secured credits within Girardi Keys, because they have collateral that's attached to the loans that Tom was taking out. Whereas a lot of the victims are unsecured creditors, and they're more at the back of the line within the bankruptcy. So at least if this approach, I had on...
No, but you know why he's going for Erika? Because she's the only one who can make money now.
Yeah.
We're looking at future earnings of Erika Girardi at this point.
We have to think about like David Lira. We have to think about Tom's daughter. All the other lawyers that are still have a law license, that are still practicing, that probably also have tons of shell companies as well. That I think we need to also be looking at the other lawyers within the Girardi Keys company.
Well, David Lira was already named on Jay Edelson's lawsuit that was in the what was it called? Girardi Financial.
Yeah.
With David and Erika. So I think what he's doing is clever in that, if he can get a judgment against Erika, he can attach to her future earnings.
He has to have proof against her, because he's the one that first came out with the original $20 million number that we were talking about last year, before Ronald Richards ended up finding out that
He did, but he got that off of something. He got that off of an affidavit from a lawsuit to do with a loan that Tom Girardi never paid back. So what happened was Tom Girardi was supposed to pay back. It was like a loan. I feel like it was like, what was it? It was like 11 million. And then Tom paid back 6 of it, but not the whole amount. And they said in the process of issuing the loan that they were privy to financials where they saw that EJ Global was receiving up to $20 million.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what we've kind of come to find out through Ronald Richards' due diligence later, which was actually, it was more, it was 25 million. So, you know, but it's all very, it's very strange. And Jay Edelson, I just want to say, he was on my podcast. He's amazing. You should definitely have him on. He's fabulous. And Ronald Richards, great to, you know, have a debate with, you know, if you, he like on my show, he comes on and he often will fight with me. So I think it's a good exercise, you know, to be able to talk about your opinions and
Yeah.
fight it out, you know?
Yeah, we've had many conversations. Like you know, I was one of the first person to bring him, like before he was doing this whole podcast tour, I brought him on before he was even greenlit onto the case. And he was a great resource at the time. I, you know, been very clear.
Ooh, Ronald?
Yeah. And I've been very clear with Ron, though, that, like, you know, I think his scope has kind of gotten a little, you know, he's a little attracted to the podcast tour and the press exclusives. You know, he's giving Adam another exclusive every other 2 days. He's calling him up to give him more exclusives. And so my issues with Ron have been more of like, I wanted to stay focused on, you know, the actual case and fight for the victims as he's claiming to be. And so he and I have had conversations, you know, privately. And so we've worked through a couple of things, but you know, I'd like to hold people accountable because, you know, Tom Girardi was somebody that we never held accountable. We believed that he was just trying to fight for the victims. And I think we need to continue to hold these people accountable so that way we don't have more people taken advantage of at the end of the day.
Well, let's face it. I mean, honestly, a lot of people talking about Erika Jayne Girardi are talking about her because, you know, they're making money, and that includes Bravo. That includes everyone. That includes all the attorneys and people and influencers like us. Everyone is benefiting from the conversation. So, you know, we have to keep ourselves in check if we're going to check other people. That's just all I'm saying. And I do that all the time with myself. I go, am I really telling this? Like on my YouTube channel, I'm like, am I saying this because I really believe it? Or am I saying this because I'm going to monetize it? And if I am, I got to stop because that's not okay.
No, you know,
and that's hard to do, you know?
If I were making a 40% commission off of 25 million, you know, I would hope other people would hold me accountable to that too.
Well, he's never getting that. The money's gone. I mean, the money's fucking gone. They're going to get nothing on that house. They're going to get, what, like $6 million on that house. There's going to be no money. No one's getting paid on this.
Well, I think it's smart that people like Edelson are trying to at least get outside of the bankruptcy and pursue other avenues, because Edelson's actually fighting, you know, to help the Boeing victims, you know, and I think finding any sort of loophole to get money back into the victims before all, like, not that I don't have any, you know.
It's not a loophole. Everybody could sue Erika directly, but they have to approach it with the court in some, like, just to make sure that it's not going to be rejected if they go forward with it. You know, that's the thing. And they have to ask to make sure it's in the right jurisdiction, and because he's in Chicago. So, but I mean, this is just the beginning. Erika, everybody's coming for Erika. Yeah. She's going bankrupt. I said this a year ago. She's going bankrupt. There's no choice. She'll wait till the bitter end, but it's coming like a freight train.
Her though, and then we really are kind of milking the same cash cow. What other players do you see that could also be potential people that can pay up in this? Because I mean, if everybody's going after her, then everybody's going after the same target. And if she files for bankruptcy with EJ Global LLC, which I'm sure she's going to end up doing, like, she's going to try to find every loophole for herself.
But you know what I can't believe is that Tom Girardi and Girardi Keys and David Lear and all those guys didn't have some kind of professional indemnity insurance. Where the hell's the professional indemnity insurance and all this?
Well, the reason they didn't have any insurance is because the insurance companies have to check in with the state bar if any lawsuits come out against them. And we now see Tom Girardi had, what, 50?
But I mean, what attorney doesn't have complaints with the state bar? Ask any attorney. They're going to tell you they have tons.
Yeah.
They're going to, in fact, if you ask why Ebony Williams probably let her license expire, it wasn't that and I don't mean this in any shady way, it would have been that she didn't want to deal with, like, you know, maybe some BS claims that went through her bar association. So she just let it expire because she's not really practicing law anymore. She's a correspondent on the news and now, you know, going on The View.
Yeah. Or trying, well, they just gave that spot away. I was actually kind of, I thought that
She's doing it. She's interim. That Heather Thompson confirmed it. So she got that. And it's upsetting because I would have liked it, but I don't have any political views. So I probably would be useless on that show. I thought you just could have a view. I didn't know it had to be political.
They tried that. They tried to just give entertainment with you. And I don't think it worked out for them.
I'd be like, you know, I just have that view because I do. And there's no reason behind it. How about that? So anyway, what are you making for food? And how's your rosé can company? Thanks for sending me some. You didn't. You're such an, just so you know, Zack was like, oh, I'm sending you some. Never did. Okay.
I will.
Never, ever did. I actually came on here for that reason.
Oh, that okay.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Are you going to send me some or not?
I will send you some. I will send.
I mean, I see you like every day. You're drinking them. They're like in front of you. Like you're torturing me.
Oh,
okay. It's serious.
To track who's actually received them or not. But I'll send you. Do you want a variety pack or do you want an I Stole Kim's Goddamn House?
No, I want a variety pack. I've lived that already. I'm okay with that one. I'll just take your variety pack. But I mean, you can't just be holding them out there, like making us all want to drink them and then not send one package.
So many packets, just so many different, like, Bravo friends.
I feel like I'm not in your popular group.
Well,
Zack, do you shade me when I'm not on here? I want to know. You guys, does Zack shade me? I want to know, okay?
What?
Be honest. Come on, let's pretend we're on a show right now. Let's go. We're on like Summer House or something. What are they saying? Why do you insist on a freebie? Buy it. And so, no, I want to be sent it because he offered it to me first, but he just didn't send it. No, he doesn't. Oh, good. Really? Okay, cool. Really? That's so nice.
What are they saying?
They're saying you didn't shade me. They didn't see that episode. No.
What? I didn't. When did I shade you?
I think you shaded me about Housewife and the Hustler.
Oh, I did shade you about Housewife.
You did fucking shade me. See, guys, I told you. You don't know where. I absolutely watch everything that everyone does. Just because I'm not on the follow list doesn't mean I'm not in your DMs and in your shits.
I shade you, and I stand by that shade.
What was the shade that you said about me? I forget. It was kind of like, what was it?
No, it was in reference to you and Danielle being part of Housewife and the Hustler.
Well, why would you be upset about that? I interviewed Jay Edelson first. I interviewed Ron Richards before you did. I have news for you.
I interviewed him at the beginning of the year. He
had only 2,000 Twitter followers when I interviewed Ron Richards. Okay.
But I interviewed him before you started your podcast.
No. When did you do it? Give me the date right now. We're going to look this up.
When did you start your podcast?
December 24th of 2021.
Okay. And he was your first guest?
He was like my third guest. I think he was.
Okay. Maybe. And maybe.
Okay. So listen, and then I interviewed Matt Hamilton from the LA Times, Zack. And I interviewed him about his story breaking the California bar. And I was the one who broke the story that Erika Jayne was getting divorced before she was announced.
How did you broke it on Instagram?
I broke it. Yeah. And I actually knew ahead of time. And I was trying to be like.
So what was your interest in the Girardi stuff?
It was really, what happened to me was I had heard rumors and I also knew there was some strange shit going on. And that's why I was like, this is heading for a divorce. And that's when I went out on my Instagram and I said it. And then I got sort of interested in it right away. And I started doing all these interviews. The only reason I was on The Housewife and the Hustler was nothing to do with the Housewives of Beverly Hills. It was because the producer of ABC was listening to Dishing Drama Dana, and she was listening to my interviews about this stuff early on. And so she got interested in the topic from listening to my stuff.
Right.
And Danielle Staub was on my show, which is where she got Danielle Staub from.
But you understand that, like, your association to Housewives was probably the reason they looped you into it.
It wasn't. That's why my name under it says Dishing Drama Dana. If you look, and they take a clip from my show and put it on the show. But like that Jay Edelson clip that they use is mine.
I love Heather McDonald, but I also didn't think that she was necessarily the best person to have in the Hulu and the Hulu and the Housewife documentary. I love Heather McDonald. I listened to her podcast. I've known her for years.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, but I think, you know, for me, in an investigative journalist sort of documentary, I expected there to be a lot more like legal experts that were actually.
Well, let's just put it this way. The piece that they used, that Jay Edelson said on my show that they used on Housewife and the Hustler, was, when did you first think that Tom Girardi was stealing? And he said it was when Erika Jayne Girardi got divorced. Okay? Filed for divorce.
Yeah.
So it was the first time he ever said that. He said it on my show. That's why they used the clip.
No, and I think it's great that they used the clip. You know, Edelson is a great, credible source.
But I was the investigative journalist. It's just you don't think of me that way because you know me as like some dumb shit on Beverly Hills Housewives.
You a dumb shit? Trust me, I'm a dumb shit all the time.
You're not. You're not.
No, I don't think you're a dumb shit either. I just thought in an investigative piece, I was just surprised that they invited you and Danielle to participate. Again, you know, my job is to be a little shady. It's part of the brand. There's no personal offense to anybody. I'm sorry if you were offended by.
Well, let me tell you, Danielle actually was brought on the show for a different reason. Danielle was really brought on as like a shout out to the Bravo fans.
Which is why wasn't brought on.
She was brought on for that. That's why you have the whole entrance with her walking in like she does. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like she has the whole housewife entrance. She has the shady comments they put in.
They wanted, yeah.
They wanted her to do that.
And people like Danielle, it's not hard for a viewer like myself to, you know, assume that you were also brought in for the same reasons.
Well, that's because you never asked. Because if you had, I would have
told
you all the things but I told you just now, which means it was investigatory and it wasn't for Housewives. You jumped to conclusions and you should have asked me because I could tell you the 10 reasons it wasn't.
Well, listen, I have no...
Now you have the inside scoop, Zack. You should be well in the know.
Yeah, I have nothing against you personally. You've been wanting some of my wine, so I'm happy to send you some love as a nice olive branch to put it to rest.
Okay, so Zack and I are officially putting the Housewife and the Hustler hate behind us. And I get an olive branch of your 6-pack, and I will drink it.
It's 12. I'll send you the 12 right.
Oh, I get a 12-pack? I'm going to text you my address right now because I'm not losing this momentum.
You have Instagram as proof.
I'm really proud. But listen, I love your show and I love you and I get the community and I get the shade, but I always am going to say my truth too. And I'm going to always be straight up also with you so that we can be friends because that's the only way to really be friends.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would love to collaborate with you more in the future. So
let's do it. I just started a YouTube.
I love it.
It's like a baby channel. It's called Dish Dana. It's like gossip, but it's my way. You know, it's really like my own thing. I don't know if people will be into it or not, but I like it.
Well, I will definitely try to check it out sometime. I know you've been listening to my show. So
I do listen to your show. I listen to everyone who's an influencer. They're so good. You guys are all so good. Adam, you, Jason, fab behind the velvet rope, Heather, everybody. It's like a fantastic group of, hi honey, what's up? Oh, you got your, okay. My son. It's time for bed. Okay, seriously. All right. Well, listen, you guys, I love you all. I hope you have a good night. And Zack, thanks for letting me come on your live. It was really fun.
Well, thanks for dropping in.
And I will say this, you know, Ronald Richards, you have to just keep an open mind. Remember, he's an aggressive human. You know what I'm saying? He is. He's an aggressive human, and he has, everybody always has an agenda for sure, I think, in life. But, you know, he's very bright. So it's worth listening. You know what I'm saying? But it's not worth just not having an opinion. So it's good that you do.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Bye, guys.
Have a good one. Love to your son.